So we still don't know whose side Mike is really on.
Yes, we do. He's on my side. He's the reason I'm still alive. When you get to be president, you understand that being spit on, even betrayed, comes with the job. But it shouldn't come with his or any of his.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
There he is. This is episode 307, and tonight we're talking about Angel Has Fallen.
I keep trying to go away, but you guys keep bringing me back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
It is.
I think it's more like we keep trying to get you to leave, but you keep coming back. And
yeah. So did the three other podcasts? Did they go pretty smoothly?
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
were
of
on.
course.
You were on in between two and the one, but yeah, they went fine.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
there was no active
Shoot.
sabotaging, if that's what you're saying or asking. Well, I mean, in fairness,
That's too bad.
the two of them were live reviews, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
hard for the guys to screw me up. And then last week we had Corny on, which was always a pleasure to have Corny
Yeah.
on. Tonight we're talking about Angel Has Fallen, and I can't tell you how many times I've written Angle Has Fallen and had to correct myself. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew. CDL training is required for Secret Service Jimison.
That's right.
I once knew a girl named Angel, and she, most of the time that I knew her, had a brace on her knee, and she did fall quite often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you went there. There was a lot of other ways you could have gone, and I'm glad.
I know.
That was nice.
I
I mean, not that she
really
fell
thought
when
about
she
it.
had a knee, but you know. And Sam,
Yes.
those four guys all died defending an empty office Vector.
Right. I mean, I guess they kind of had to. I guess that was the plan.
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and just so you know,
Yeah.
the way I would kill you.
Sure.
I would just hit you with that semi.
Oh, okay.
That's it. I would steer towards you, even if you were up on the sidewalk amongst some tables and trees. I would mow those down just to get to you.
That's cool. I appreciate that.
Anytime, man.
I mean, that would be probably not the worst way to go in this movie, I don't think. I don't know. They were all kind of the same. They're all kind of violent ends. I don't really think anyone got a... So, anyway. So, yeah. 2019's Angel Has Fallen. This is the third in the trilogy of the Has Fallen trilogies, where Mike Banning is a Secret Service agent whose job it is to protect the president, and for some reason, in a 3 or 4 year stretch of time, everyone in the world is trying to kill the president. So
Absolutely.
here he is protecting the president. In which case, the president is Morgan Freeman. And
I was going to say, we
Freeman.
like this president.
oh yeah, no, we well, I mean, honestly, Aaron Eckhart is president. I'd be down for that too. So
Yeah.
By the way, I
Yeah.
hope you captured the audio. But I had a huge smile on my face when I heard Morgan Freeman say, "Damn it, Sam."
no, I didn't get that. When did he say
Yes.
Sam?
It was in the hospital, but yeah, he says, "Damn it, Sam."
Oh no, I
Yeah.
didn't even pick up on it. Oh my
Dude, now I'm disappointed. I'm
yeah,
going
that's
to leave again.
Lance Reddick's character is Sam. Oh,
Yeah.
bummer. I have missed a golden opportunity. because I have
But-
a lot of our other names in the show recorded
Yeah.
from
But
you know.
but just so you know, I was a little sad in this movie,
Oh.
insofar that it looked like I think Morgan Freeman's aging.
He's 81.
Like,
Of
He
course
looks
he's 80.
really frail in this movie, and that's sad to me
Oh, what's
because
happening?
he
There we go. Sorry. Yeah, go
he
ahead.
has
Sorry.
to be around for a long time. That's just the rule.
Yeah, no, I mean I understand that. Yeah, he I mean he's 81.
Yeah.
I mean he still looks pretty good though, right?
I don't know. He, like I said, he just looked frail. Even
Well-
before he's hit by a freaking bomb drone thing.
Yeah. Well, I did say it was kind of a bummer that like the majority of this movie he's in a hospital bed,
Yeah.
so it's anyway, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2019's, like I said, Angels Fallen, starring your Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler and Morgan Freeman are the only two that are in this movie that are in any of the other movies. And
Gerald looks a little water weight gain in his face in this movie.
he
Yeah.
Didn't he look a little less?
Portly.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, but he wasn't fat. He just looked
No.
like maybe he had too much salt at dinner last night.
Yeah.
he had a big dinner. Yeah,
Yeah.
he went to the melting pot and just had a lot of that wonderful cheesecake or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, the dude's. I'm trying to do math here in my head. He's 41. No, 51. He's 51.
Gerald's 51.
Gerard, yes. Whoever Gerald is. I don't know what. So only if people that have seen West Wing will get this. But you remember in West Wing when the British dude who comes over and he keeps calling
The chief of staff, right?
Gerald. And he's like, Gerald, my man. And he's like, that's not my name. He kept calling him
I
Gerald.
hate that man. Yeah.
Oh, he hates him. And like the only time he ever got his name right was after the character and the actor died in the
Yeah.
show. Sorry, spoiler. But anyway.
I got mad. I got mad at West Wing how they did that. But anyway.
Well, I mean, the actor died, so I mean.
Well, I mean, no, but was his whole he got a heart attack in the middle of the woods type of thing. It
Oh
was,
no.
right.
Well, no, that was part of the show, right? How he died was in the last season during the election.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but I just felt the show. I don't know. It just didn't feel.
You're not wrong. That's when the show starts to. Season 6 is not
fall
great.
apart. Yeah.
Season 6 is not great. Season 3 and 4 are probably my favorites. Anyway, we're not going to talk about West Wing much more, though I love that show.
Yeah.
Not quite time for my rewatch of it. I think I'm still in the middle of my Leverage rewatch.
Nice.
Anyway,
So
yeah, so-
Gerald Butler.
Gerard, yeah. You're just gonna keep doing it. So we're gonna do our 5-word reviews, but I just want to go ahead and throw this out here. So I talked to Sam yesterday a little bit about this movie, and I'm actually looking forward to doing the show tonight because
Yeah.
I had so much fun with this movie, and I'm fully aware that this movie's got issues, and
yeah.
and we're gonna talk about all of them, including probably one of my favorite hopping men that we've had in a while. I'll let you guys think about that, but why are you giggling? Because Andrew's trying to eat.
What the heck was he putting in his mouth? It looked like a little penis gummy bear or something.
Hmm?
What is that? Right? Doesn't it kind of look like a penis gummy bear?
It's a carrot.
Oh, it's a carrot. Oh, okay.
Yeah. With the camera, for those who just listened to the podcast, this is probably the best way to consume it. But we are on Skype, and of course, Andrew has a little green screen background going on, and
Yeah.
the gummy bears he's eating, it looks weird. So anyway, how do I
from a bachelorette party? I mean, gummy
Yeah.
penises.
Well, that's fair.
They're fruit gushers. So when you bite into them, they
Oh yeah.
So,
They
so the
liquid
director
juice.
of this movie, the director Rick Roman Waugh, I guess Woff, Waugh. How would you pronounce that? Waugh?
Wah?
Sure.
Like,
Whoa.
whoa. So if you go to his IMDb page, the first thing he's known for are stunts. He is a stunt coordinator, stunt guy,
That
Mhm.
and
explains
he
a
is,
little bit.
yeah, it kind of does. And he's done a bunch of stuff for a long time. But he has some directing credits, including something called In the Shadows in 2001. I don't know what that
That-
is.
Vampire movie?
I don't know. A hitman sent to kill a veteran Hollywood stuntman falls in love with the target's daughter and decides to become a stuntman himself. Oh, geez. Okay.
Sounds really dumb.
It kind of does.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's got
Who greenlit that thing?
Matthew Modine, James Caan, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Come on!
Yeah, this looks kind of terrible. What else has he done? Director, let's see. So obviously he did this movie. He did something a few years ago called he did Snitch in 2013. I think that's the Rock Johnson movie. Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie. That's a pretty good movie actually. I liked
Yeah.
it. So basically he doesn't have a lot of directing credits, but I think there's a lot of in this movie that's a lot of fun to be had. He's completed a movie called Greenland.
Yeah.
That also stars Gerard Butler. A family struggles for survival in the face of a cataclysmic nuclear disaster. Oh, well, that's sad. Okay.
Is that in Greenland?
Yeah, it's called. Well, I don't know if it's in Greenland, but it's just what it's called. Though in the trailer, nothing is green. Everything is orange and dying. That's kind of terrifying. But it's got Marina Baccarin from Firefly, and not Daredevil, Deadpool. She's in it.
That works.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, Scott Glenn. He's always great.
Who's Scott
And-
Glenn? Sorry.
Scott Glenn. Remember Hunt for Red October? He was the American
Yes.
sub captain.
Okay.
That's Scott Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a dude that at the age of 40 looked like he was 70. So now that he's like 80, he still looks like he's 75. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of guys that are like that. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Morgan Freeman he looks like he's only 5 years older than when he did in Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm just like, he hit 30 and immediately looked 50.
He's aged very well.
Yeah. Or he initially aged poorly and then has since
Since leveled off.
Yeah, leveled off. Like he sped up and then time is finally catching up.
It's
kind of
like
thing.
what's his name? Ant-Man has just paused.
Yeah,
Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd. Yeah,
Paul Rudd has paused at some point in his life.
Yeah, he's like
And-
48 and he still looks like he's 29.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you go watch a Wet Hot American Summer, and he looks exactly like he does in Ant-Man. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, the original. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So Sam, I'll let you lead off with the your 5-word review here.
Oh, okay. That is my review. I've got several here. My first one is head injuries accumulate over time. And then my next one is West Virginia 90s Explodium sale.
Okay.
Yeah. But my real 5-word review is movie really reaches this time. And basically I just, in my opinion, and I know Opie, you and I are going to butt heads about this, I think this time, I think they really pushed the story in terms of it being fairly outlandish this time around to make it makes whatever sense it makes. Some of the stuff was stupid and didn't make, to me, it just didn't make sense. The bad guys' motivations and what they did and basically taking him out of jail to kill him and the only thing cool in this movie to me was the drones and the drone attack. I thought that was really cool, and I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, that's
But after watching, and everything is going to be ruined by Extraction for me from now on in these types of movies. The gun fu on Extraction has ruined me for action movies, because that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see the what's his name, the character name,
Mike Banning.
I want to see Mike Banning doing gun fu, because that's what I expected. For some reason I thought that was more prevalent in the first movie, but that's kind of where I am. I was disappointed. I thought it was fun in terms of a Saturday night, turn your brain off, how does he get out of this type of thing. But even when he's getting out of situations, I think they were lazy. The West Virginia scenes with him and his father, which, by the way, adding his father to this was probably the best idea they did, because I really enjoyed that relationship. But the West Virginia blowing up and stuff, it was like he perfectly set these explosions exactly where they needed to be every single time to explode the bad guys as many times. And I'm sorry, it just didn't. I wasn't buying it, basically.
I guess if you just put enough explosives around, you're gonna land at least a couple hits, right? I guess that's the idea. It's more like shock and awe than specific pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah. So I didn't enjoy it as much. And I think it's gone downhill with every one of these movies. The first one was a fun Die Hard White House. The second one was kind of a
hang in there, Sam. Your microphone just switched. You just switched to your camera or your computer.
All right. Am I back?
No. Yeah.
No.
You're 30 feet away. Oh, there you go. Did your controller batteries die?
Yeah, it's kind of died. How far did I get?
No, you were just saying that this Die Hard in the White House is your favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the second one kind of went away from that, and this one really distanced itself in terms of that kind of one man against an army idea. So I didn't have as much fun.
Okay, that's fair. Yep. What say you, Andrew?
Well, I have two as well. My first one is You're Scaring My Damn Fish. and then the second one, and maybe this is gonna upset you a little bit, but the best of the trilogy.
Whoa. See, okay, did I watch this thing in the wrong frame of mind or something?
I don't know, maybe, because I said that yesterday and you almost hung up on me. So like,
oh my gosh. Okay.
Like, and Andrew, it's funny you say that, because I'm too close to this one. So, give me a week or two and maybe I'll go back and say Olympus Has Fallen is my favorite. But today, as I sit here in this chair, this is my favorite of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because
I had a whole lot of fun with this one, and maybe it just hit me in the right mood, but it is an action flick. Like, when you said the director was a stuntman, that said a lot for me, because I didn't know that. Because I thought that some of the stunts, especially at the very beginning with the drones, you said you like that drone scene. Mm-hmm. If you watch these bodies getting flung across the lake, I was like, oh my
holy
gosh.
crap. Yeah.
But just everything, I thought, of the three. Now, I'm not saying this is a great movie, like top 10 movies of all times, but it is, in my opinion, better than the other two. And maybe I'm with you, Sean. Maybe it's just it's fresh.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Olympus Has Fallen in quite a while. I do remember liking Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This one, I agree that some of the things that are done are kind of dumb. but I feel like it's okay. because
It's
this
okay
is just
for it to be kind of dumb. Yeah.
yeah. This is yeah, it is a little, I guess, reaching, but at the same time, it's a movie. Yeah, like I don't know. Like, I didn't.
It wasn't meant
expect
to be a I don't want to say smart movie, but
right.
it wasn't meant to be a masterpiece.
No.
No,
And
I
I
mean
think
it. Yeah, it's
I think for the most part, all of the acting is done really, really well. I think it's a great cast. The only person that kind of got on my nerves a little bit, and this is because I just don't like him as an actor, is Danny Houston, who plays Wade Jennings.
Mhm.
And it's just I've never liked him in anything. But
Yeah.
well, as soon
Interesting.
it's funny when you get typecast, right? So like as
Yeah.
soon as he showed up on camera, I'm like, I watched this with my wife. It was funny when I told her that this was the movie. She said, "Oh, so we're gonna watch it together?" And I said,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I said, "Well, we don't have to." And she said, "Well, we watched the other two. I kind of want to know how the trilogy ends." And I'm like, "Okay." And she says, "You think he's gonna die at the end of this one?" I said, "Probably not, but that would be a bold step if they did." And then as soon as that guy, what you're talking about, Danny Houston, showed up on screen, I'm like, "Oh, he's the bad guy." She said, "How can you tell?" I said, "Because he's a bad guy in everything he's ever been in."
everything.
Yep.
She's like, "Oh, okay." And then, so then we saw Lance Reddick,
Armstrong. Oh,
Mhm.
who is the really tall black man from. I know him from Fringe, but he also has a really cool
Yeah.
like an appearance in the John Wick movies. Well, he is the voice of a villain in the DuckTales series.
Ah,
And so as soon as he started talking, she goes, "He's the guy from DuckTales." And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Is he going to be a bad guy?" I said, "I don't think so. He's usually a good guy in movies." She said, I'm going to keep my eye on him. I said, "Okay."
I do like him in Fringe.
Yeah, he's really good in Fringe. He's good in all of his things. I want him in more things.
Yeah, me
he's
too.
He just has a presence about him that's just like really dapper and just really like if he was head of Secret Service, there's like you would never be. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't.
go against it. Yeah.
You could
yeah.
never go against the Secret Service because he just feels like he knows what you're doing before you even had the idea to do the bad thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
anyway, he's great. So my 5-word review was just simply fun explosions in the woods.
No, that pretty much describes it. You know,
Yeah.
in terms of if you're looking for a movie that's just explodium and gunshots, you know,
Now-
I'd rather watch Extraction, but
Well,
this is
I'm going to give you a better movie. It's the exact same movie as this. It's the exact same movie as this, and that's Shooter.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
this
it
is just another version of Shooter, and Shooter is a little bit better of a movie,
It is.
because there's a little bit more.
I will say. Well, I was going to say I think Shooter, compared to this one, Shooter is, well, like you said, a better movie. But I think it's a little. Not that this movie doesn't take itself seriously, because it does.
Mhm.
But that one, I feel like I'm watching. When I'm watching Shooter, it could be a true story, you know, a documentary of
yeah.
this actually happened. This one, it's a little reachy, like you said, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I don't like it.
The things that bother me in this movie are the things that bother me in dozens of other movies when you have this type of thing happen. Okay, so and it's simply this: Mike Banning is a national hero right now as a Secret
Yeah.
Service agent. The world doesn't know that the world doesn't know what he did in the first and second movies, and this movie doesn't really like talk about those things as things that happened much. You know, like when the president at one point says, Morgan Freeman at one point says, "For all that we've been through." Well, sir, you weren't with him in those other two movies, but you watched him do it from afar, and so you know what he's capable of. So anyway, I guess because in Die Hard 3, like they make multiple references to what happened in L.A. and in New York. So like, it's very aware of the trilogy. This movie feels like it's a little bit less so. But my point is that here's a guy that, I mean, he is as close in this universe, as close to Captain America as you can get, and people turned on him really quickly.
Really
Yeah.
quick. Yep.
Really quick. And that's always been kind of a thing that annoyed me. It's like, not just this movie, but any movie like this where you have someone that is so decorated. Heck, they even did it now. It only works in Captain America 2 because all of the bad guys, all the people that are turning on him are Hydra. And the people that aren't Hydra are like, wait a minute, are you sure we should be chasing Captain America? That doesn't make sense. So at least in that movie, they're aware of that thing. But like Lance Reddick is his boss. He's known Mike for at least a couple of years because in the previous movies, Angela Bassett was his boss.
Yeah.
But they have to have a relationship. And all of a sudden, some FBI agent comes in and says, "Here's some things that we found. We can't really prove it. These are things that we found." And all of a sudden, he's ready to throw him in jail for forever. So that's one of the things that kind of annoys me about the movie. But there's also so much that's just so fun. I laughed. Like my wife and I, we were laughing our tails off at certain parts of the movie. And I mean, this movie's funnier than the other ones, especially like the fact that there's like a tag at the end of this movie where it's him and his dad going to some bath spa place.
Spa thing. Yeah.
That cracked me up the whole time. It was so funny.
It reminded me of the scene in Maverick.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But this one, speaking of being aware of the trilogy or the other parts of the trilogy, I think this movie, unlike a lot of trilogies, this one could stand on its own without the other two.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And some other trilogies that can't necessarily do that.
Yeah, Back to the Future 3 doesn't make sense without 1 or 2.
Right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. In fact, I would actually say that maybe watching this without the first two, it actually makes the stakes higher because then you don't know Banning's backstory. Mm-hmm. All you know is he's just the guy assigned to the president. You know? And you're just going off the fact that it's Gerard Butler. That's why you know he's not the guy. But the fact that he does all the things that he does in the first two movies. So anyway, you want to hear about the guy who I think is our hopping man in the movie?
Yes. You
guys have a guess? We did this the other night, Sam. I had them guess.
The hopping man in this movie.
Yeah, he's not a lead actor or anything like that. He's basically an extra.
No, I mean you've got when he finds out the guys from the training grounds were the kidnappers or whatever.
Yeah.
So those guys kind of came back and you figured out what happened to them.
Yeah, and
the vice president, you figure out what happened to him too.
Yeah, he gets his.
I don't know. What is it?
And by the way, the vice president trying to kill the president so that he could, I don't know, reignite a war with Russia so that he could. I mean, you're not wrong, Sam. That whole plot point is not only kind of flimsy, but it's also been done before.
Done a lot, yeah.
Where the vice, it makes me kind of feel that Morgan Freeman shouldn't be president if you picked that guy to be your VP.
Yeah.
Just you couldn't tell he was going to be a bad guy. For me, the hopping man is the cop that Banning makes get into the trunk of the car. He's like, is he still in that car? Is he still in the trunk? I mean,
oh yeah, we don't see him again, do we?
Yeah, like when Banning finally gets reinstated, he just needs to say the line, "Hey, by the way, there's a cop in a trunk down there. Somebody go let him out." Like I feel bad for that guy. He's in the trunk and there's explosions and a building falls down. Like hopefully that car wasn't anywhere near there. Like, I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on and oh my gosh. And that was the other thing I mentioned kind of earlier about the cops dying to defend the empty office. That kind of annoys me too. When I understand that the bad guys they're kind of OP, but really, like, Banning is the only one that can shoot a bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like we're saying that the state troopers that were there, or whatever, whoever they were, secret police, whoever they were, these guys were armed, military grade, whatever, and they just got picked off one at a time. It was kind of annoying. I'm like, come on, like, you can do it. Take out one or two of them. Let the main dude get grazed in the shoulder or something. Just make it feel more real. I don't know. That's the stuff that annoys me, but I'll get
Plot
it.
armor. Somehow.
Yeah.
They got plot armor.
Well, it's not even plot armor. You just made the good guys bad. You just made them terrible, and that's kind of. I didn't take many notes in this movie. I mean, like, I wrote LOL a payphone. Like, that was kind of funny that those are still a thing. I mean, honestly, when's the last time you guys saw a working payphone?
In the music lobby at the music building in Boone before they took them out.
Right. So we're talking 2003, 2004?
98, 99.
Well, but it was still there when I was there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Well, the physical phone was there. I don't know if it ever worked. I never tried it. Never had a reason to.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Now
that's my
they're
point.
just random holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, whatever. That's fine. He needed a thing. I did like the militia guys that showed up, and then when he put the gun on the guy, he was like, "Man, I ain't dying for this. Those guys are crazy."
But how appropriate.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, this movie tries to be timely, even to the fact that the vice president mentions about the Russia tampering of the election. Like,
Yeah.
let's make sure we throw that in there.
Yeah.
Obviously the vice president is the mole. We all knew that. That was pretty obvious. I will say this: I did not see Jada Pinkett Smith getting killed as early as she
No.
I
No,
didn't
yeah,
see
I
that
did not see that
did at
coming.
all.
And well, see, and that's one of those circumstances too, where I'm like, people know where these guys are going. The FBI, how is this guy going to get out of this when he just killed 2 FBI officers on, just
On his property.
on his property, and they, FBI don't go anywhere without paperwork, so they know where they're going to be. So it's just
Dang
like,
Hold on, Sam. My computer crashed. All right, back up. I don't know where we lost it, but I'm just going to repeat my comment about. I just think it was a bummer that Jada Pinkett Smith died as early as she did.
yeah,
Like my wife said, like, as soon as they landed, my wife said, "She's going to get shot." I said, "No, they're FBI. Like, you can't just do that."
he shot her in the gut too. That's just
Yeah.
mean.
Well, that's what I thought too. Like when he hit her in the chest, he hit her in the vest, right? I was expecting
Yeah.
her to like pop one of the other guys, right? But no, she just puts her hand up and then she's out of the movie. So,
She had something
I mean,
else to do.
she has a gun, Yeah, I would start. I don't know.
Well-
I just didn't find it believable in that case, and I felt the villain was almost like a Bond villain in a way.
but
He didn't shoot his own men. He sure put a lot of them in harm's way, but
no, he did.
Did he?
Technically, remember he actually throws a grenade in the hallway.
Oh,
where he
that's
knows-
right. At the very end, on the roof, from the roof.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
the last dude that's with him looks at him and goes, "What the F is wrong with you?" Like that this dude is that willing to try to kill Banning that he is willing to blow up one of his own dudes.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not wrong. He's a Bond villain and kind of a not a good one, but
But is this a Bond movie?
well,
And I think that's
Yeah.
that's my issue with it. Is it they've got a Bond villain in a movie, in a Die Hard movie?
a little bit, yeah.
And I think that's a little. There's
Well-
a disconnect in my mind.
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, isn't Hans Gruber basically a Bond villain too? I mean, isn't Alan Rickman a Bond villain? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of is a Bond villain, and even like
Yeah.
in the third movie with the brother, not Ironside. What's his name? The guy that played
Shit.
Scar. And
Richard Attenborough.
yes, I like that way better than who it actually is.
Yeah.
It's not John Hunt. Who's
Jeremy Irons.
Irons.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons. There you go.
I like Richard Attenborough way better. Could you imagine him as the bad guy? Hobbling around on his cane and he's like cursing, dropping F-bombs at John McClane. I love this idea. Anyway, I don't remember what I was going to say. That totally threw me off. But yeah.
But
yeah,
so
he's
you're
a Bond.
okay with the Bond villain being in this?
It doesn't bother me that he's a Bond villain. It just bothers me that he's one, he's OP, and two, there are no consequences until Banning stabs him in the armpit.
Yeah.
Like not only does he kill these two FBI agents, which Sam, you were making a good point when my computer crashed, so I don't know if we're going to hear it or not. But you were making a good point that like there are now two dead FBI agents on his property and a pilot, and they would have logged in that they were going there, so that when they don't show up, eventually. I mean, I know that he moved the plot forward faster than that investigation can catch up.
Yeah.
But what's the plan? Even if he succeeds in killing the president, what's his ultimate goal? Is he still thinking that he's going to be able to escape and then just still become like then the vice president is still going to just hire him to
right?
do
Yeah,
stuff?
because he wants the money from the contracts, right?
Well, it's not just that, because remember he even says it. It's not just about the money. It's about that feeling of being a warrior. Like he wants, like it's basically like this. I mean, for lack of a better phrase, he's having a midlife crisis, and he's gonna act on it by trying to start a World War III so that his company can become the thing, so he can go play hero.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong in the fact that the plot's a little dumb.
Yeah.
It is a little dumb, but in the moment I didn't really care. I'm just gonna be really care. I mean, because
that's fine.
Everything was telegraphed as soon as like I said, as soon as I saw this guy on camera, I'm like, he's gonna be the bad guy, and like you knew all these things were going to happen. And obviously the biggest difference between this and Shooter is that in this movie the government's not trying to actively kill him. He's not killing government agents. He's killing the private company, so we don't feel bad.
The Blackwater, yeah,
right. Whereas in Shooter, he's shooting government people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That now
payroll. They're on the payroll.
They're on the payroll of the bad guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready for some clips? I have some clips.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Do some clips. This might be fun. All right. Speaking of what Andrew said. There you go.
I don't hear a word.
Oh. Yeah. Forgot to do that. So I will do. I'll play this.
So if you're wanting reactions from us, the silence is golden. Just so you know.
Yeah. No, I forgot to.
I mean, I did not say a lot, so.
All right, here we go. Take two.
I'm fine. Go. Scare him a damn fish.
There, see reaction. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Too funny. Yeah, I can't hear.
Scared a damn fish.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna look for where he yells, "Damn it, Sam!" I'm gonna look for that off the show.
Off air. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta find that. All right. If you say the name of your movie, I'm going to record it.
President Trumbull's top guardian angel has fallen tonight.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of got a Tucker and Dale vibe as he stumbled upon the cabin in the woods.
Yeah, a little bit.
Throwing that out there.
A little bit. I mean, as soon as you saw him, that's when I say that this movie reminds me of Shooter. I mean, even in Shooter, Mark Wahlberg has to go to a crazy old guy in the woods for wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then they blow up the woods. I mean, like.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they do it. They blow up different woods, but they're blowing up the woods. Disappearing. I forgot what this is. I labeled it disappearing.
Me disappearing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So here's his dad talking, and I'm watching this with my wife, like I told you, and the dad is talking, and my wife has got this look on her face like, I recognize that voice, but I don't know from where. So we're watching the movie, and then at the end of his speech here, he says something which obviously triggered what she knew him from. So it's kind of weird that he said this at all in the movie, but he did. So anyway,
Me disappearing was the best thing that ever happened to you. I have spoken.
it was really weird that he would say that.
Wait a second. Is he the voice?
Yeah, that's
okay. All right.
yeah, that's him. Yeah.
I have spoken.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I knew it because I knew I just recently rewatched The Mandalorian literally 7 days ago, and
Nice.
I knew that he was the voice of the dude. So he starts talking,
Me disappearing was the best thing that ever happened to you.
and my wife's like, "Wait a minute, I know that voice." And then eventually he said something. Obviously, he didn't actually say "I have spoken," but he said something. He's like, "Oh, it's Quill." I'm like, "Yeah." So
Yeah.
there you go. This was funny.
Blow me up, damn it. I didn't tell you to run down there.
It's hard to hear what they're saying, but he says you almost blew me up. I laughed out loud at this. I just thought this was the best thing. So basically, he says, "Pull the chain," and he pulls the chain, and it is. If you've ever seen Tropic Thunder, when Danny McBride blows up all of Southeast Asia, this is what's happening. This explosion is massive.
Really? You're welcome.
Oh my gosh! Out of context, that's not quite as funny, but just it's a massive explosion that blows up all the bad guys, and he just looks at it and goes, "Really? You have spent the last 20 years basically booby-trapping the hell out of these woods." I mean, good gosh. So I actually have audio of the time that Sam met Kimberly's parents for the first time, and unfortunately, when he did, he stumbled in and knocked food all over them, and it was a nightmare. And what he ended up saying was,
This wasn't the way I wanted to introduce myself.
so anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
And of course, that's exactly what happened. I mean, you got it right on the mark there.
Well, obviously, I was there recording the audio, so I mean, of course,
Yeah.
that's what happened. I like it when movies, and by I like it, I mean I really hate it when movies use a phrase that, like they say it as a way that is a thing that people say all the time, but it's not a phrase that people ever use. So here's the example.
Agent Thompson's the reason we're fighting our wars with one hand tied to our dicks.
Yeah.
You don't say that often?
No, I've never said that. I've never heard that. It threw me off. It threw me so much. I was so confused. I'm like, wait. I looked over. Wait, did he just say that? Yeah.
That's why I always buy an extra shoestring.
Fighting our wars with one hand tied to our dicks.
It just seems really uncomfortable.
Maybe that's a military thing.
I don't know either. I don't know. Of course,
I feel like I know enough military people that I probably would have heard that. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's not a thing.
I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to say to a lady cop. I don't know. And then this is in the post-credit kind of thing. Here we go.
Turn the lights on. Sorry, Dad. You thought this was going to be a bonding experience? Oh. Be in there.
So I capped that out. So I now have.
I'm going to be in there.
I have that forever. Oh man, I love it. Oh my gosh. Andrew, where'd you go?
I'm gonna pee in here.
All right, that's fine.
Whatever you want to do, buddy.
So I've started doing this thing. I haven't told you about it, but I've started doing this thing when we're recording. I just have the movie playing in the background on silent, just so I can, jog my memory while I'm looking at things. And I did notice when they are talking about Banning's dad, and they show the picture of him, like back when he was, younger.
Yeah.
It is awful. I mean, it's a terrible Photoshop job. It looks like they took care of Ringo Starr from the 70s or 60s and superimposed it on top of his head, and it's
the same people who did the mustache for Superman.
Yeah.
Did that Photoshop.
Oh my goodness.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
That's right.
Ready.
There's not a lot of trivia for this movie for some reason. There's just not. Most of it is like Gerard Butler also starred in Phantom of the Opera. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Like there's just a bunch of that dumb stuff. So
Yeah.
Tried to forget that.
So like with Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen, Morgan Freeman has openly admitted in interviews that he did this movie mainly for the money. He explained for the previous two, money. It's the third in a series and it pays better than the first one. I get to play the president again, and I'm in a successful series. I'm working with a guy I really admire and like. It's perfect. When asked whether he still felt the fire in his belly with regard to acting, he said, I enjoy it. I still enjoy it. I love making movies, but it's more like a smoldering embers now. Dude's 81. So
Yeah.
I think he's earned the right to just get an easy part, phone it in. Again, most of the movie, he's either standing in a boat fishing or laying on his back in a bed. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
More roles like that for him.
Just maybe a little more dialogue. I just like to hear him talk.
I know.
Like the intro is almost all of the words he said. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard Butler stated that this film will be darker and more character driven than the other two movies, even going so far as to compare it to Logan, the 2017 Logan. He also hoped that this will be the final installment in the Olympus Has Fallen series. So what I take from that is that he's not comparing this movie to say that this movie is going to be as good as Logan. I think it's more of the first two are pretty violent, but this movie, again, he kills an FBI agent. This movie is a little, as far as that goes, is a little darker, but then again, you still have stuff like, you still have
I'm gonna pee in there.
this kind of thing happen. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. The first movie, Olympus Has Fallen, was similar in plot to the movie White House Down, which featured Lance Reddick. Appearing in this movie makes him the only actor to participate in both franchises. I wouldn't call that movie a franchise. It's one movie, and it's not.
Yeah.
No.
It's nowhere near as good as this.
No way.
Yeah, like that movie isn't as good as any. Like we all kind of agreed that the second one might be. I don't know, Sam, you don't like this one, or you like this one. You like this one.
Yeah. I enjoyed this one. I did not like it like I liked the first two.
That's fair. I did watch White House Down. It's bad. Or not White House Down. White House Down. It's not good.
Yeah.
And then in a recent interview with Gerard Butler, he stated that the franchise might get as many as 3 more installments.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh.
Yeah. So, which is weird because literally 2 pieces of trivia ago, I said he also expressed hope that this will be the final.
This was the last one. Yeah.
So, I don't know. So either that's him saying, I want it to be the last one because where else can this dude do?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if someone comes in and says, we're going to pay you $5 million to do this, he's going to do it. And this movie had half the budget that the first movie did.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have CGI helicopters and all the other stuff going on. I mean, the only CGI in the movie are the drones.
Yeah. And I thought they did really well with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're moving so quickly. It doesn't matter what they look like. I mean, like I like the slow motion part where you can see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's the trivia, and time for just.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
So we're gonna do, since this movie is actually our first trilogy that we have done for the podcast. We've done many movies, 307 in fact, but this is the first time we've done a trilogy.
We have finished a trilogy. We've
Yeah.
started some. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and we've like bounced around like in the middle of some, like we did like the third Back to the Future, and didn't we do Terminator 1? Yeah, no, we did. We did Terminator 1. That would be a cool series to get back into, is to do some more of the Terminators. But anyway, this is it because it was available to us. So there you go. So we all know that there's going to be some cross
contamination.
Yes, with our top three. So Andrew gets to say all the best ones first, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So I have my number 3 as the Batman Begins, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
Number 3.
Even though the third one isn't the best.
Right.
You mean terrible? You mean it's terrible?
It is terrible. But the other two I think are good enough and better than the whole.
Yeah.
And then number 2 I have Indiana Jones.
Sure.
And this is the original 3, not including the crap that came out.
We do not include that one. Yeah.
No. And then of course my number 1 has to be Back to the Future.
Yep. Totally agree. Which is funny because the Back to the Future and the Indiana Jones ones, in my opinion, the second movie is the weaker one. Now I know some people have issues with The Last Crusade, but that Last Crusade's my favorite. So anyway.
Yeah. All right, so what were yours again, Andrew? It was Back to the Future,
Batman, and Indiana Jones.
Okay. All right. I've got 3 here. In my number 3 spot, I've got the Cornetto trilogy.
Okay.
Which I have actually finished, and I hope one of these days the End of the World or whatever that last one is pops up, because it's a lot of fun to do, or it's a lot of fun to watch. So that's my number 3. My number 2 is the original Star Wars, right? So you got 4, 5, 6. And my number 1 has to be the best trilogy ever made, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised you didn't put Jurassic Park in there.
No. Well, even as good as number 1 is, 2 is a pretty steep dive, and then 3 is just so far bad that I just can't. 1 can't quite tip the scales for that.
No, so. I understand. I understand the logic, and I applaud you for using it.
And it makes me happy you thought I would, but no, 2 is okay in parts. It's got some great parts, but as a movie, it's pretty bad. 3 is just oh god, 3 is so bad.
The CGI is pretty good, but otherwise it's pretty good.
The whole, even the T-Rex going down, because and supposedly this new Spinosaurus is stronger and better than the T-Rex. That just pissed me off. So yeah, not a fan of 3.
That's fair. Yeah. All right, so I picked only one of mine I share with. I did it on purpose because I mean, this is a list where if I say these 3, you're gonna like, really, you like those over these? Like, well, not necessarily. I just wanted my list to be different.
Different, yeah. So you picked The Hobbit. Okay.
No. No. So my number 3 in this case is the Die Hard trilogy. I'm not counting 5 and 6, or 4 and 5. I am doing the first 3. And I love all 3 of those movies.
I'm not sure if I've seen 3. I've seen 1 and 2, but I don't think I ever saw 3.
Oh, the one with Sam Jackson. It's good.
Wait. No, is that the one where they have to do the water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then I have seen that one. Never mind.
Okay, and then the second one's the one at the airport. So
yeah.
I picked number 2 as I can't in good conscience do this. So I'm going to say that I had to do a Star Trek one, right? So
Yeah.
So there are actually kind of two Star Trek trilogies that I like. So the Kelvin timeline, the 3 new ones, is a trilogy, and I like them. I know some Trek fans hate them. I like them. I think they're good. They have issues, but they're still fun. But in the original 10 movies, movies 2, 3, and 4 are all direct sequels of each other. It is a trilogy within. Look at the original 6 movies of the original cast. 2, 3, and 4 are in fact direct sequels of it. So I consider them like a trilogy within the group. So I would put that one second. And then my number 1. Go ahead, Andrew.
I was just gonna say 2. I love.
Yeah, Wrath of Khan is great.
Yeah.
Search for Spock is not great. It's not. Yeah. It's okay. It's not great. And then 4, The Voyage Home, where they go to the whales. It's a fun movie. It's a fun Trek movie. Again, it's kind of dumb, but it's fun. So
It is pretty dumb.
Yeah, but it's fine. But there's a lot of fun to it. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So my number 1 I am gonna do is Lord of the Rings, though. Those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly hard to beat that. The only other honorable mention I did was the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are just purely for the fan service. It's like they're not good movies. None of them are good movies. They're fun.
No.
Like I almost feel bad putting them in the same list.
As Lord of the Rings.
As Lord of the Rings. Like, Oscar-winning. Best Picture, kind of thing. So.
And you still haven't seen the Godfather series either, have you?
I have not. I have actually sitting right next to me, the Godfather Part 1 that a friend of mine gave me.
Yeah.
Because he felt it was his responsibility to make me watch it.
Two is the best. Is a masterpiece. 3,
I still haven't seen 3.
Yeah, you don't need to.
That's kind of why I haven't, is because I've been told not to watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it because you leave a good taste in your mouth after 2.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
That idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of good taste.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we rank this movie. We give it a score, I guess, or a rank or a number. We express our emotions about the movie in the number form.
Through digits. Yes.
In numerical form. I don't care how much Sam poo-poos this. I will do whatever it takes to make sure it has a better score than the movie from last week.
Which one was last week?
The movie where the airplanes whose tails are red.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's the title of that?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Red Tails.
Okay.
I'm staring right at the screen. Obviously, I know.
Man, I'm sorry I missed that one. Jeez.
I do like the fact that Andrew filled in for you though on the forum. So that's pretty good.
Perfect.
Andrew, what's your score on this thing?
Well, yeah, like you said, IMDb puts it at what'd you say, 6 point something?
6.4, yeah.
6.4. I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm not gonna go too high though, because like I said, I did really have fun with it. I think it's probably the best one of the 3, but it's still not, a fantastic movie. So I'm gonna say a 6.8.
Okay, because you gave London Has Fallen a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, the London Has Fallen was, in my opinion, the weakest one of the 3.
Yeah. And I don't have a score tracking for Olympus Has Fallen.
Well, I would have given that one
that old?
6.4.
Well, I have the number with the Olympus Has Fallen was our second movie.
Yeah.
We gave it a 7.875.
And we're on 307 now.
Yeah.
So.
It took us
Holy crap.
305 episodes to do a trilogy. Our second episode.
Holy cow! I bet we sound horrible.
I mean, I look back at the movies. Our first 10 movies were all kind of good movies. Beverly Hills Cop, Olympus Has Fallen, The Hunt for Red October, 13 Assassins, The Untouchables, Rubber, Skyfall, Clue, Cabin in the Wood. So
don't forget the couple of movies we did before we started realizing we had to hit record.
Yeah.
When we're doing these. So, podcast being audio, you want to make sure, people can actually hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Was it Serenity?
Serenity we did. We
Starship
did
Troopers? No.
We did lose Starship Troopers. That is one of the following episodes. Ghost in the Darkness, I think, also was
yeah.
that we ended up doing anyway again later, I think.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Anyway, Sam, what you got in this score?
All right. I'm going to give it just a plain old 6.
Okay.
It's decent Saturday night, but again, it's a turn your brain off, not a movie I'll probably remember in a few weeks. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Plus, you're old and senile, and you forget things.
What? What do you say?
That's fairly hard of hearing. I had a good time with this. This caught me in the right mood. So I'm just gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay. So I was closer to you guys than I thought I'd be. So.
Yeah, I did too. I think after my conversation yesterday, I was afraid you were gonna give it like a 3.5, but
no, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it as much as I would.
And that's fair.
Other action movies. Yeah,
and that's fair.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, that was a fun movie. So next week we're doing something really dumb or weird or I don't know. I shouldn't say dumb because I don't know anything about it. But next week we're doing to continue our summer. Well, I was going to say summer blockbuster kind of theme as the summer is starting to end. But I think this is kind of our last summer blockbuster because next week we are doing Guns Akimbo, the Harry Potter meets guns stapled to your hands.
And that's on Prime, right?
It's on Prime.
Okay.
And it looks ridiculous, and I'm kind of excited about it. And it's got Samara Weaving in it, which is cool. She was in The Babysitter.
Oh, okay.
She was the babysitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's also in another movie recently where like she's gonna get married or something, and then it turns into like them hunting her or something. Ready or Not, I think is what it's called. I just remember seeing her like holding a shotgun and in a wedding dress. So, anyway. More of her. She's awesome. She does weird things. And she's Australian, so that's cool. I don't know why. Anyway. She's going to be in there's going to be a new G.I. Joe movie. She's going to be playing Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe Origins.
Well, maybe this one will be good.
Well, we're still waiting on a good one, so.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, so next week, Guns Akimbo. That's our movie. I am looking forward to it. And so in the meantime, right? We're done, right? I can play outro music and say things.
Can we hear it this time?
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to pause for just a second. And I'm going to ask this question because I have it here. I have my closing list of things to ask and just to say. I haven't asked this question in a while, so I'm going to ask the question. What have you guys been watching recently? I know we're all kind of in this weird, lockdown, whatever. We have a little bit more time on our hands because we can't go places. What have you guys been watching?
Yeah. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed Schitt's Creek. Kimberly and I have watched that, and I have now watched Hamilton at least 5 times on Disney Plus.
Nice.
Most of the time in the background, but damn, that thing is just amazing.
Still haven't had a chance to watch it, but I will.
Just flipping amazing.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who likes history, I think you'll love it.
Yeah.
So I also finished watching Ford versus Ferrari the other night.
Oh, cool.
Which was interesting. It was definitely an awards grab type of movie, but some of the car racing stuff was just really cool, really really cool. But yeah, now I've been playing a lot of stupid video games on my own and just kind of vacationing. It's hard to watch stuff when you're on vacation. So, how about you guys? What do you got, Andrew?
I actually rewatched a movie that I haven't seen in probably 30 years called The Witches with and it's on Netflix. And I remember watching it with Angelica Houston when I was little, and I probably should not have watched it, but I guess it was one of those things that, like, you know, a babysitter or grandma was watching us, and and we didn't know what we were watching. I mean, it's not really that scary, but for a little kid, it kind of is. And then I have, of course, watched The Office again for the 30th time.
Nice.
And then a couple of random things. I'm doing my third rewatch now of The Tudors.
And are they teaching you anything?
No. And then I also rewatched the Bad Boys trilogy again.
Oh, I haven't seen the third one yet.
Which I didn't think about that as one of our trilogies for today, but because
Yeah.
it does now have 3.
Brother-in-law JP says the third one is so bad he almost recommends I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I still love the second one though. That's
The second one is pretty great.
I think of the trilogies, that trilogy kind of breaks the mold in the fact that the second one is, in my opinion, the best one.
By far.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of not close.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one's fine, but the second one is great in a lot of ways. And dumb in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Too.
And then lastly, I told you off air that I watched The Old Guard, which was interesting. So.
Well, good, because we've added it to the list of movies to do in a few weeks.
So, yeah. What about you, Sean?
Well, honestly, I don't have a lot of movie time. Basically, most of my TV viewing time is in front of children. So we have watched now twice the entire series of the Clone Wars, the cartoon, and I still, Sam, recommend that you do it. Especially if you're going to watch Star Wars with the girls, I would recommend it. They would enjoy it, and it actually, honestly, it makes the second and third movies better, because especially the third movie better, because when Obi-Wan screams, "You were my brother, Anakin, I loved you," that has more meaning now, because you see what they go through or have gone through together, and so you really kind of get more weight of that. And then also make you kind of wish that Ahsoka was in the movies, because she's awesome as a character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Other things we've been watching. We also are in the middle of, we're toward the end of Star Wars Rebels. I mentioned that we're watching the Rebels show, which is really good. I wish there was more than just 4 seasons.
Have you? Yeah, me too. Have you seen the new one? The what is it called? Star Wars. Yeah.
My son, a little bit of it. I can't get into it, mostly because of the art style.
Yeah.
I don't like the art style. It just looks.
And I know that Disney owns them now, but it feels too Disney to me.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
We also watched. We've been going back into the Disney Plus vault a little bit and watching some old stuff with the kids. We watched the first Herbie movie a few weeks ago, and the kids loved it. We watched my first time seeing the Great Mouse Detective, and it was really kind of fun seeing all the fun parallels between that and the Sherlock Holmes series, because it's obviously a Sherlock Holmes, thing. Then we watched The Rescuers, the original Rescuers, and then we watched something else, another old one I can't think of it. So we've also watched the live-action Lion King.
Yeah.
Which was pretty good. It's okay. It's fine.
I didn't like it.
And the live-action Aladdin, all within the last 6 or 7 weeks, I guess. So, yeah. That's what we're doing. It's been fun. And I'm looking at a headline here, which is pretty cool. The Mandalorian has been nominated for 19 nominations for the Emmys. 15 noms. Yeah, sorry. Into Emmys with 15 noms, including surprise best Nama. Nama? That's not a word. Best
Nama.
nod. It says drama nod. That's what got me screwed up. That's not a thing. Okay. Anyway. All right. Now I'm going to continue the outro. And
Watchmen did amazing, by the way.
Oh, good. I haven't
So
watched
I
that.
think there are 26 nominations.
Oh, well, HBO knows how to make a good TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can visit our website, cheapseatreviews.com, where you can find old episodes and listen to them and leave reviews on there if you want. You can leave a review on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. We're still on Stitcher and pretty much any other place you can get a podcast. We're on there. iHeartRadio, we're there too. Follow us on Instagram if you choose. I don't ever update it. Facebook.com/cheapseatreviews. I do update that. And on Twitter is @cheapseatcast. You can also send us an email to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. And yeah, that's it, man. Sam's good to have you back again.
Yeah, been fun.
I'm looking forward to doing a really weird movie next week with the Guns Akimbo. Sometimes these weird ones that come out of nowhere are a lot of fun to talk about and just have fun sound clips for. So, with all that having been said, on behalf of Andrew and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week for Guns Akimbo.